morning. Something I haven't done in a while is on the cards for today. Lure fishing. Ideally, we're looking for pike. I know that there's a lot of different species in here, primarily predatory species. You know, we fish for carp here, and it proves to be quite challenging. It's a very weedy area, very deep area. So the pike, the bass, things like that, they stack up in here. Now, whether or not they're feeding is a different story. A lot of bait fish come through here, so they've got everything they need. Can I irritate them enough to bite with like a crankbait or something like that? So I've tried to come prepared today. I have most of my lure rods in the van. I think I brought 10 rods with me today, all set up for different things. If I have to change tactics to go for perch, I'll do that. I have heavier equipment if I need to bomb longer casts with heavier baits. I have my more medium action gear for short range crankbaits, and I even have a spinning rod for soft plastics and more vertical approach with jigs. So I pretty much brought everything except the kitchen sink today to try and pull out some late season lure fishing for bass, pike, predator species. So far I've had one follow that I think was probably just a rock bass and a little nip on another bait. So it's probably just some of the smaller fish, panfish that are around, but where they are, so are the big predators. And yeah, I probably wouldn't have done it this season. You know, we've got an unusually mild day for the end of November. I really would have liked to go down to one of my carp spots and really try and get a big end of the season carp. But you know, one of those channels that I follow on YouTube, and I followed him for quite a few years, Dom Fishing UK, really fun angler. I love watching his videos and such. And you know, we've had a little back and forth online, and he's always telling me to go out and do more lure fishing, chase some predators. So you know what, this one's for you, buddy. I just hope I can make it work. So I think right now I've kind of covered the shoreline here. My intention is to, as long as there's no signs that say I can't go out on that bridge, I'm going to go out on some of the stanchions on the bridge and try and fish from the weed line that's right along here back out into the deeper water, because right now fishing along the weed line and fishing from deep to shallow isn't doing it. So if I can go from shallow to deep, that might be the trigger. Let's see what happens. Get like some hardcore, you know, heavy beat electronic dance music while I walk out on the bridge and just groove, right? Or not. I'm not cool enough for that, am I? And I don't have any rhythm, so. little bit disappointed that the first spot didn't produce. I am a little bit surprised. I was expecting that we would have at least had some more follows or some taps or some sign of fish. Goldie even threw the jig around a bit because, well, there was no point in sitting behind the camera when nothing's happening. And he did have a whack, but missed it. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a little follow-up. I think it was nothing more than a rock bass or a smallmouth or something. So we're on the move. It's part of the same water system, but slightly different. And it's about 4 kilometers away. We're about halfway there now. Just got to go through town to get to it. It's a spot we've fished many times before for other species. Done a lot of videos there. And it's a spot that I know has pike in it. The difference between this spot and that spot is a bit smaller water, and it also has walleye where we're going. So we're gonna go take a look. No guarantee we're gonna fish it. That depends entirely on water clarity. If it's chocolate milk, I am not going to even bother getting out of the van. We'll find another spot. But if it's clear, or even a couple of foot visibility, then we'll give it a whirl. So for now, we're gonna go check that out, see how it is, and if that's a bust, we'll go somewhere else. If not, we'll see you on the bank. Very large bird coming right at me. That was cool.
You're not supposed to land on the rocks. I'm hitting weed beds even way up there. At this point, I just want to bite anything. So far, I'm trying to follow a specific pattern. Our first location, I used a lot of different baits, but the principle remained the same. Kind of do a 1-2 punch. My casting rod has a crankbait on it right now, so whether it be running a crankbait or a big plastic worm or something like that, I try to make sure that this has something completely opposite. So if there's a fast bait on that lure, use a smaller, slower bait on this one. That way, if I were to get a strike on that and miss it, I can grab this, flip it out there, work a little bit slower, and hopefully pick up that fish. The problem right now is that it doesn't matter where we go, we have not seen any real signs of fish anywhere. No rises. And the key is that we've not seen any bait fish anywhere. If we could find a few schools of bait fish, I've no doubt we'd be on to predators, but shallow weeds. But yeah, if you can't find the bait, you can't find your target. I don't know, it's tricky today. Real tricky. We're packing it in for this morning. We're just approaching midday. We've got some other stuff to do this afternoon. So, day one of lure fishing, chasing pike and whatever else we might be able to find. We saw one fish rise right in front of us at the last spot we were at, and nothing. Other than that, Goldie's managed to lose one jig, so that's a new record for him. He's not losing very much tackle at all. But it's just weird. We even checked in with some friends of ours, and they're not doing very well either. So it might just be the weather. It's hard to say. People were catching in these spots as early as last week, and they're not this week. So we are going to take off and resume this effort possibly next week. Probably other locations as well, we'll see. But for now, I'm sick of this, so I'm gonna go do something else.